Alrighty then, so we have a SketchUp file here. We're gonna end up trying to merge this with your CAD work. Alrighty then, so we're gonna go into CAD. I have Eileen's thing pulled up. First thing that I noticed, I'm gonna make this just one to one, just like I like to work. I think when we actually use land effects, it'll set scale anyway, but we'll do it like this just so I can see the lines better and show you how I do it. A few key things. All your plants need to be blacks at a minimum. If you're going to do a planting plan with Dallas, I recommend, we're trying to get land effects installed. It should be there soon. We're just waiting for, I guess, a new serial number. But land effects allows you to do instant planning schedules and render and all types of stuff. So I'll show you quickly how to build a project. But first, I'll show you this. You need to make sure that they're all blocks. And right now, though this is a group, when I bring it over to SketchUp, it's going to come over as basic line work. So to make this a block, you would ungroup it. You would have both of these and type in block and name it whatever you want to name it. Hopefully the scientific name, because you've already picked your plant. I'm going to pick that base point there in the center. And that would be that, and I would copy that over. And I'll show you the difference when we bring kind of the geometry over. So once I have this, what I want to do, really with this, I don't need everything, but I'm going to click and hold and just drag my line around. I think she did it in a way where I could just pull over her line work separate from the flat work, but just in case your flat work or your horizontal controls from your survey, you modify for some reason, I'm just bringing over a chunk of the site, and I'm going to do that by just doing a W block. And again, you have to figure out how much you actually need. I'm going to save this somewhere I know, hopefully in a clean folder. I'm just putting this here for now for me. Do that. So then I'm going to run over here to SketchUp. And I am going to explode this. I have this created so I have them kind of separated to be neat. But I need to explode this because I want to just be able to drape onto the terrain. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and explode this top one because this is the 3D mesh. Okay. Once I have that, you can go into your survey folder and I'll turn off turn off the contours because we don't need to see them right now. Turn off the trees because I don't need to see them right now. What I want to focus on is kind of getting rid of this line work in here because I don't want it to drape over. You're going to bring over new line work. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to double click. Oh, no, this one first. I'm going to double click until the outline of the line turns blue. Then I'm going to hold shift and deselect the face and just hit delete because I just want the line. Same thing here. I don't want the line. This one I can't do because there's no line over here. So I'm just going to hit the eraser tool and just kind of go down the line. It's not that bad. Test your driving skills with your mouse. Boom, boom, boom. It's there. There's one regular. And yeah, cool. I think she doesn't need this one either. I'm not sure about this one, but I'm gonna delete it just in case. I'm gonna leave all the people and stuff on. The trees are grouped or blocks rather. So I'm not sure about that. I think she said she left that. Anyway, if not, we can fix it. The playground too. I know the playground is shifting for her. So again, all the things are going to change. We're going to go ahead and shift. And then boom, boom, cool. All right, so now this site is prepped. So now what we're going to do is go File and then Import. You need to make sure you're on AutoCAD. You can do all files too, but I'm going to go Options and I'm going to make sure I'm in feet. And I don't want to preserve drawing origin, so I'm gonna put it where it drops. So I'm gonna say okay, and I'm gonna say import, and that thing should drop in. Cool. I'm gonna move it anyway. So all I want to do is just do a little bit of cleanup here because I'm not gonna do all this. Just really pieces of her design. Didn't need all that. Okay, so then I have an extension here, and I'll give you all of this. It should be floating around class. It's the Dynascape. So I'm gonna go run CAD cleanup, and it's gonna make faces and try to fix everything. Oh yeah, this is a good point. This is why I'm gonna show you why you don't want to use these trees like this. So I'm gonna run this. It's taking forever to run. Part of that's because it's making faces with these trees. So when it's a group, it's splitting the geometry. That's not what you want. You don't want that. You want it so this is separate from it. I'm trying to find the one that I did that was a block. I don't know. Where's my, there you go. See, my block, it's separate. So that face goes all the way through, or these are, that's a problem. So I'm going to Control Z back. I don't want that. I'm going to turn off the trees. Okay. And actually then come up here and explode this. And then grab this. And then I'm going to create a, just to keep this clean, I'm going to group this separately. So now my trees are kind of on the outside of this. And really, we're going to do new trees for her anyway, so I'm going to just delete those trees. So now I'm in here, double click, and then I'm going to go Dynascape again, so my extensions, Dynascape, whatever it is for on your computer. Okay, clean up much faster, cool. It still is not making faces here, so for some reason it'll actually bring your pull lines out and separate it. So what I like to do is just explode this when that happens. So everything's back together, make sure all my geometries are there. And I'll make it a group one more time. All right. Now I'll do a little more cleanup here because I don't need all this stuff. So like the building, double click, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't think I need this line work here. I'm not sure if she added lights or not. I don't know, I'm gonna leave those in though. I'm not sure, that might have been my stuff from the, oops. Oh no. Crash. Oh, send that. Well, folks, this is a live demonstration. Let's try that again. SketchUp, tricky. Let's try that again. See if it recover. I guess I was going too fast. I accept. Okay. Yeah, I do it with them right now. Okay. All right, let's try that again. So now I'm going to come back in here and I'm still going to delete this stuff. Don't need that, don't need that. Don't need that. I'm going to leave it alone. So then we go here. Here. I don't think we need that stuff. Don't need that. Maybe the lights will stay. Bam. Oh, I got the manholes and stuff already done. I think we could have not selected this stuff from CAD, but it's not taking me long to go through this. No biggie. Boom. So that's looking like I have my faces that I need. So I need to place this now. So what I'm going to do is then take this and find out where to put it. So I'm on the flat work right now just so I can kind of place it. I think is that right? Yeah. So now that's right. Looks like it's lining up correctly to me. I'm going to hold up and I'm on the move tool with M. And or V rather, or move to what's the shortcut. So I'm up here, I hit and I lock my axis with the up arrow key. And now what I want to do is just drape this thing onto my terrain. The terrain should be open, so hopefully it won't take that long. So I'll click on this because it's a group still, and I'm going to go to my tools. I have this as shortcutted as D, but you can go to drape, and then just drape this on your terrain. Should go through, and we'll see how your design is responding to the terrain, because this is actually undulating, which is kind of nice to see, specifically with this. So, bam, you see your line work draped on the terrain nicely, and this is where, for instance, you see those steps. So we'll have to do some additional modeling, so do not delete your flat work. What we want to do now is kind of double click in here, and you should have some clean faces. Most of them, hopefully, your faces will be clean. If not, you want to use the tool, there's another tool, Edge Tools, and you want to find edge gaps, right? You want to find these edge gaps so you can hopefully close them. So there's probably some stuff going on around here, and some lines sometimes don't drape, so you have to go in and draw little line segments to close things. But her geometries look pretty clean. Another thing you're going to need to know how to do is basics, is to drop your textures. Don't apply textures directly to your mesh in 3D because it undulates, it does funky stuff. You want to have it in your 2D plane first. So for instance, if we know this is going to be, we reverse the face on this thing too, and then orient faces. What I'm doing now is just making sure all the faces are up. The blue is supposed to be the back, where the white is front facing in this orientation. So reverse, orient faces. So what I want to do is apply some textures to this first. So if I have my materials, for instance, and I'm going like, I don't know, you can download stuff too, and I recommend that. The texture library is not that, it's never really been the best natively inside SketchUp, but you can expand it, so it doesn't really matter. So say for instance it's going to be long, and I want to make this, double click in this piece and call it long. Right, here's a texture, I can modify that. But you guys can get something I can see. Okay, let's say that's that, where it's nice and clean on the grid, and I can, it's not messed up, it's not pixelated, and it's clean and not looking crazy. Let me do a better example. A better example will be this. Let me do these brick. Okay. Now I have another extension on here that allows me to align. What is this called? This is Align Texture to Edge, Align Tools. It's free. Just go to your extension warehouse to find it. I'll see if I can add it to the video too. But it keeps everything clean on a nice grid, right? If I just apply that texture to this now, you see how it like breaks because it's triangulated. So it's basing the paint that I'm putting on it, or the texture on that triangulation. So what I want to do is, there's extensions for this, but this is just another way of doing it. So I can go here to this texture. I want to have that projected. And now when I sample that, I'm hitting B and sampling with Alt. And when I come here, it will clean all that up. So that's why you want to have your textures and such applied in your flat work first, and then again, click on it, texture, projected, so that you can have it cleanly draped here. The lawn and stuff, sometimes it doesn't matter for landscape, but when you're doing hardscape elements, it really matters because it'll change your design. So I'm just going to work clean and just say here it's the same thing. So say that's grass, and again, texture, projected, and then easy peasy, just drop it in so you can kind of see your work. Cool. The next thing you're going to do, because that obviously that ain't working, right? So what we need to do is, hopefully this is cleanly cut. We'll actually go in here. I'm double clicking and holding shift so I can get all this. Make that into a group. And I'm actually going to delete that out. All right. So I'm excavating that portion on the land. So then I'm going to come up here, and this is where you would basically model this thing back out. So it looks like that stair piece is missing, so I'm just going to draw that back in. But I'll go here and double click in the same way, but this time I'm not going to delete. I'm gonna make it a group still. Actually, I'm gonna come over here and separate some of these pieces even on the interior. So I'm gonna go here and I don't know how tall it was, but whatever, something like that at least, right? We'll fix it when we get down there. And, oops, I don't know, something like that, whatever. Again, we'll fix it, but you walk at the base like I did. I'm just making steps. All right, and you'll physically, as if it's a piece of concrete, I'm just gonna cut that out. So it's there as a reference. I will cut it. I'm gonna go here and then Control X and then Control Shift V to paste in place so it's outside of that block. Coming down, lock that axis with the Move tool and just bringing that bad boy straight down so I can kind of align it with grade like that, right? Boom. So it wasn't that bad. Look at that. You might trip a little bit, but it's okay. And then you come up here and then you can basically adjust these pieces individually. You know, you can apply also material to it. So maybe you have like brick or something. These things are brick. Maybe that would be a cap or something, but you all get the idea. Just in a quick way. Same thing over here. Just do the whole thing. Just brick. Oh, all right. So now you start to have your staircase, and then probably bring that down a little bit. And you can do your sink switches. I'm just eyeballing this. That was like a big step. Looks like you might need another step in there. In this case, it should be easy to do that actually too. Oh, that's not bad. There's a rise. T for tape measure. Supposed to be a 6-inch rise. That's 8. Okay, I'm all over the place, but okay, well, big steps. Not bad. Could add another step. Anyway, that's how you would begin to kind of modify that and get all that stuff to kind of work together. That's just bothering me. That's too high. You probably just come like that. Maybe up a little bit. Matching it. Anyway, play with that. That's how you kind of carve back into your space. What else should I show you here? And then once you have these pieces made, again, you can turn back on your go back into your tags and you turn back on your trees for survey for like elevation. See how they're kind of responding, and then you can bring your other CAD work back over when you fix your plants and drop them back over. And have them so you can kind of see what's happening. And then, of course, you already have your entourage and your people there, so you can kind of see. And make sure that my shadows use sun for shading so it's a little brighter. Yeah, there you go. Hope that was helpful. One more thing, I guess I should show you that for SketchUp. That's how you'll do that. Back here. So. Okay, land effects. Land effects is super powerful. So for instance, for these plants, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a project to show you how to do it. So I'll go to admin, and you want to go to project manager. I've already created a project for this, but I will create a new one. I'll say new, whatever. It's going to let me, okay, so 002. I don't know why my thing's doing that. I'm going to say Sternberger 2, it's Imperial, that's fine. I'm going to say okay. So I start a project, pops up. What I want to do is I want to bring in, I'm not going to worry about my sheets and indexes, I'm just worrying about my planting stuff. So I'm going to go to my planting, and I want to do new planting. So this is cool because once you know your plants, you can then bring them in and actually have it by scientific and set the size and price and all these things. And you can organize by tree, shrub, area, so it's just really cool. You can do filters if you want. If you don't know what plants you want, you're not super familiar, you can start filtering by all these different categories. So really powerful, really awesome to use. So I'm going to say new, and I'm going to go into trees, and I'm just going to grab some stuff and maybe get some acers or something, or maybe a quercus or something, maybe a quercus. What do we have? Quercusy. Quercus, okay, and then all these different varieties, good lord. So I'm going to do a scarlet letter. Ooh, that sounds provocative, right? Sounds like a fun tree. Then I'm going to say add to my project. Bam, it's added to the project. Maybe I add, I just like maples, so maybe I do some type of Acer. So I'm gonna do Acer. Let me do an Acer rubrum in here somewhere. Acer rubrum, and then we still have all these different varieties. So I'm gonna do autumn red maple, or is there a cooler name? New World red maple, October glory. That sounds good, right? So I'm gonna add that to project. Maybe I get some shrubs too. Maybe there's like, I don't know. What do we have? Oop, I don't want Acer for my shrub. Albelia, sure. Is it a grandiflora? Yep, grandiflora. There you go. Glossy? Yep, great. Is there a cooler looking one? Francis Mason? Sure, let's do that. Add to project. So I'm just gonna add a few. If you have all your plants, that's awesome. Pick them all, you add them, you'll be done. So you're done. So now I have these things organized in these different categories, which is great. Now I can start placing. So if I wanted this October glory, it's going to ask me some questions first, right? Because I haven't specified everything. But if I want to go to place, it's going to start asking me, okay, well, what do you want your symbol to look like? So these are simple symbols. I want to do something a little fancy, so I'm going to go to deciduous, and I want to have this. Sure. I'm going to say okay. It says cool. And then it's asking you some really good information, right? It says, well, what size is it? So maybe it's 1 gallon. I don't know. What is that? Is that good, Dallas? I don't know. 1 gallon. Let's say this thing costs maybe it's not. Maybe this is a 5 gallon. Yeah. Let's say this thing costs like, I don't know. Let's say it costs $200. Boom. Right. Container type. Ball and burlap. Is that there? Ball and B&B. Symbol, I can set it now. So I want my thing. These are really healthy, established, these beautiful maples. This is the default symbol width, but I'm gonna say mine get to be about 30. I just know that happens in our area. Then I'll say okay. What I could have done is specified color, but I'll go back and do that. Actually, oops, I don't want that. Oh, so can I edit you? Let me see. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is the color. I'm going to go ahead and select that now. I click on this, and I can actually pick a rendering style, which is awesome. So let's say I want this thing to render, like this, and then pick a color. I like that color. Cool. Let's say, okay, if I want 3D representation, because I can import this thing to SketchUp too, I can even actually grab a 3D symbol, but their 3D symbols aren't that sexy, so I don't highly recommend that. But they do. It is available. So I have that, and now what I'll do is I'll go place. And when I go place, you see the symbol, right? So maybe for these, it's that, right? Instead of what she has. So I'll just boop. I'm just copying her positions right now. And not super accurately, but you know what I'm saying? They're groups anyway, so it is what it is. Boom. Boom. You can also do arrays on this and do it much cleaner. I'm just, again, just a little lazy. So boom, boom, boom. It's early in the morning though, and the coffee has gotten cold. Boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to do this to be impactful, also to show you how the rendering capability of this as well. But okay, that's enough. That's enough. So there we go. Boom, you have your trees, and then what I would do for her is basically turn off the tree layer that she. Oop. Let me close this up. That's good. Boom. So let me go out and turn off the tree layer that she has. What are you talking about, buddy? Turn that off. All right. Boom. So like, okay, Chris. Well, that looks the same. It does look the same, kind of, but it's not. So because I put this in the project, immediately what I can do. I've already this layout, so let's look at layout too. Because we're using land effects, I'm going to go to Page Setup Manager, and you can download this. I'll see if I can't add this to this as well. But modify, and I want my land effects CTB. All right, land effects CTB, plot transparency, DWG to PDF should be the setting. 11:17 is fine if you want to have it like that. Close, boom. Make sure that I'm not past my dotted line. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. I'm running Civil 3D so I can do some things here. Let me bring this up a little bit and bring this to the right because I'm going to put my plant schedule over there as well. paper space. I'm gonna type in REA to refresh it, so it's gonna just refresh. Paper space line type scale. So that's what I always make it 0, so it reflects the line type scale that you see in model space. You should always have a legend. What's nice about Civil 3D is I can put in a scale bar automatically. I'll just do imperial, and you click on it, and it's pretty nice. So I go to feet, and let's say I want it to be clean. 30, maybe not 30, maybe 50-foot increments, and then just say okay, and then boom, there goes your scale bar. And then if I want a north arrow, just boom, and pick your little north arrow, and it'll lock it into the viewport. So if you modify your viewport, it should shift in theory. And then SC, I'll just scale it so it's a little bit bigger. Boom. So we have that. We're on flat work, probably should be on something else, but that's okay. Quick way to do that. Now what I want to show you is that if we're in land effects, this is the power. I talked about trying to do things more efficiently, so you're not taking forever. You can certainly render this in Photoshop, and a portion of it might, your ground plane. But for your plant material, if I go back to my planting now and I go to presentation and I go to color render, should pop up, and it's going to ask me what I want these things to be. So my trees and my shrubs, I don't have anything selected for shrubs, so I can go here to my shrub and go through the same process where it's asking me what was that one? That's not a shrub, it's another tree. It's asking me for symbology, so maybe I'm using this for that symbology, and maybe I'm using that color for that. And then my Abelia grandiflora, so maybe this is it's not well, grandiflora is good. Anyway, let me just grab something that's just boom, and then maybe something like that. That's not the color. I don't like that color. Let's do that again. Let's do that. Whatever. All right, and now I can say on or off. So this is really cool. So I can say on. If I toggle that thing on, it's going to go through the process of rendering those now. So I'm in my layout. You actually have a pretty nicely rendered tree with a shadow attached to it, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So the sun rises. Yeah, it's pushing this man. That's it. So you can do this for all your plants, and then if you wanted to, you can go back in. I think she started doing hatches too, and add your hatch work to it, and hey, you're starting to look like something without spending tons of time going through it. It even has some transparency, so it layers nicely. You can drop hatches in, like actually like a light green in here as well. Like I can go back into this and just like do a lay ISO on the hatches and horizontal controls and flat work, and then put myself on hatches, for instance, and then do here hatch this. Just want to show you all. I know hatches can be tricky, so I would probably honestly do this part in Photoshop, just kick out my flat work. But I can change this if I wanted to. It's I'm gonna do more colors because it has to be a true color, and not a numbered color, or it won't print right. And make it green, and then maybe I knock up the transparency real good, and then I'm gonna do a lay on, and then just lay freeze some of this stuff. So LAYFRZ, I don't need that. Everything else looks pretty good to me. I don't need some of those shadows. I can turn those off. See, these are also land effects trees because they're not part of your project, and we didn't specify a render that they can't render. And then they have that interior line where it looks kind of crazy too. So those are like your 25s. So again, pick the plants that you can control, and yeah, those look crazy. Anyway, when I go here though, that looks pretty good. All right. So just something to think about, and then also if you do have your aerial, I don't know where's the aerial at? I mean, literally you can even have it over top of something like that and play with that. But anyway, just want to show you a different way of rendering. More importantly is the scheduling now, right? So if I'm not planting, and then I'm going to plant, and then I'm going to go to schedule. Destination is going to be in the drawing, not table, blah blah blah. Kind of leave it as defaults. And see what his defaults and not mess with it and see what happens. I think that I don't want the plant symbol, but let's just try it. So say okay, it's going to say specify plot scale now. I'm going to say no, see if it still lets me. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't like that, so let's do that again. Schedule, and then just say okay, and then Okay, yes. So we'll say this is what, at 40 scale, yeah, and say okay, and drop it. Boom. So it automatically is going to put everything that you have in your drawing placed here, which is pretty nice, right? And you can modify these things again. You can change the symbol and how it appears, but you create an instant schedule. Additionally, for labeling, then too, you can go into your label. You could do groups. You could do single connected lines. So if I wanted to do like a connected line for these guys, you know, I'm just kind of like connecting them. So I wanted to do that. I think it could do that and do that. Of course, you would get more of them, but boom, and it's going to instantly label them. And this again correlates with what we see here, which is pretty awesome. So in your layout, you're already kind of getting a nice little. Maybe I'm going to turn off that aerial just for this. A nice planning plan, right? So pretty important, I think, that you that we have access to that, and we start using the land effects when it becomes available in the lab. All right, that is it. Hope that was helpful. If any questions, let me know.